Hey, welcome back to the CJ2K show. This is Jay.
And this is Connor. You're about to get serenaded. You really know how to make me cry when you give me those ocean eyes. I'm scared. I've never fallen from quite this high, fallen into those ocean eyes. Those ocean eyes. Boom. Boom.
Nice.
That's it. We're there.
We're there.
That's all we needed.
That was
Now,
it.
I don't know how to feel about that. I can tell you one thing. If you're listening on headphones, you shut them off.
No, what are you talking about?
You don't listen to it on repeat. You skip
don't-
intro.
You don't listen on repeat, but at one point, if you're listening on headphones, you probably looked at the device like, "Oh no, like, is the device okay?
Yeah, you're probably.
Was there a wrong link clicked?"
So my main question to you is, because obviously this was my terrible idea to do something like this.
Yeah, but I kind of like it,
And
and
I
I was
love
also low key terrified because I don't let
don't
people
like-
hear me sing.
I'm with you. Now that's where I want to ask you the very first question.
Okay.
My family is what I would consider a car singing family. And what I mean by that is my
Okay.
sister and my brother, we belt in the car. If we know this, if we know the lyrics, we're going. I don't care who's in the car.
We belt.
It doesn't matter who's in that car.
Uh-huh.
I may
Oh,
have
really?
never met you before, and you're going to hear some terrible ass singing
Right.
in that car.
Right.
And it doesn't matter what it is. It could be Stay by Rihanna. I'll hit every word. As you know,
Yeah.
we've done this test. I
Yeah.
can hit every single word.
Uh huh.
I'll do it. Or if it's an F and I'm rapping, I'm singing every lyric I possibly
See, I
can.
will say. Okay. Yeah.
You disagree?
For me personally.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I mean, I don't sing in the car. So the funny thing is, I don't sing in the car with the presence of other people. But if I'm alone, I'm going 100%.
Oh,
So
really?
it's either 0 or 100. That's the thing.
Okay.
Oh, I'll be throwing my hands around if it's rap. If that's what it is.
Oh, so
like
if
if
you're
someone
solo.
sees me, it's like, oh wow, he's doing it.
Oh, so if you're solo, you wear it.
100%.
Okay, so I don't care who's in the car, as you know,
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
It's weird though. I don't know where I developed that habit. Does that make sense?
Well,
Like,
you just said your family.
yeah, but my dad and my mom, they don't touch singing in the car. That ain't a thing.
So your dad could see that.
So my dad, very little. I've heard him every once in a while.
Mhm.
My dad's the key. I don't know if you guys have the parent that's like this. If they don't know the lyrics, they'll be like, so like Ocean Eyes, they'll
Okay.
be like, ice. Like that's
Yeah.
my dad right there.
He'll
He'll
hum
like
through it.
he'll like hum, but speak like he knows what the lyric
Right,
is, and you kind
right.
of give him that look like,
Oh,
you drunk, bro? Like,
he's
you
trying to
good?
he's trying to go with the. I know what it is. I'm
Oh,
just not trying
yeah.
on this.
I'm putting no
line.
effort in.
Yeah.
That's my dad, and so I think he's probably where we got it from more. My mom doesn't listen to music.
So
in the
you're
car.
saying this is
My
in the
mom's
car,
a
or he
non-radio
does this. He does
person.
this. Oh no, really?
Oh, she's psychotic.
So I
It's
think
one
my
of those
dad's
serial
like
killer
that too.
tendencies.
My mom and my dad might be a little like that, but my mom will listen to the radio. I think more. Like growing up, going to school, radio like country music was always on.
Really?
Yeah, and I think my dad too. We had like XM radio for free one year,
Oh,
and he loved the '80s station. But then once we lost that, it's like, yeah, he doesn't really turn the. I don't think he really turns the radio even on.
Yeah, it's how weird is that? If I'm in the car with no music, it's like, what am I doing with myself right now?
Occasionally, I'll not play music at all, and it's for one of two reasons. One, I must be going somewhere super close, and it's not worth plugging my phone in and picking a song. Or if for some reason I'm just like thinking about a lot, and it's like I need to, like I'm trying to like figure something out, and it's like I just need to calm down. I just need to have a nice drive home with nothing playing, and then I'll get halfway through and I'll be like, I can't do this anymore, and then I have to put music on.
See,
'Cause
that's
that's
funny.
crazy.
When I need to get to that calm place, there's certain songs I play to get there.
Oh yeah, I'll do that
Yeah,
too.
Like there's certain songs that I'm throwing on, and it's like, okay, I'm in my feels now,
Yeah,
and I'm here.
and in your feels is a good place to be.
Oh,
I enjoy it.
for sure.
I will
100%.
do what you just said. I will put certain songs on because it's like I know this is going to get me feeling this way.
Yeah, it'll get
You
you to
know.
the right emotion you want to be in.
Yeah.
And I think it's what's really funny is I'll be like, I'm the oddest music listener ever.
Yeah. I've
One
noticed.
day I'll listen to like hard, like Avenged Sevenfold,
Right.
or like some hard rock / just like some darker stuff like that.
Mhm.
And then the next day I'm listening to Rihanna, and then the next day I got some NF going,
Right.
and then I go to old school Eminem, and then I'm listening to 80s, rock, and then I'm listening to some ballads. It's like, where is my music taste
So
at?
is this a conscious effort that you make, or is it like you're on a shuffle and then it just so happens to get you there and you're like, oh yeah, now
No.
this is what I'm doing today?
So how it's been lately is I'm a frugal son of a bitch.
Yeah.
So I got Pandora. No, I don't pay for that shit. So I'll be playing the NF station.
God,
It'll play
Pandora.
4 terrible songs in a row. Skip, 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 and then,
And then
I'll
you
be like-
can't.
and then this is all I hear. You are out of skips, and I'm just like, oh, that
And now you
Pandora.
have to be okay.
And then it's like, okay, go to a new station. And then somehow, out of all the new music, I hate everything, but I like Post Malone. Then I'll go Post Malone, and then it'll play 4 shitty songs in a row.
Right.
Boom, you're out of skips.
Oh, so you
And
have a
then
certain
I'm
amount
like,
of skips per.
yeah,
thing,
per
per
station.
station.
And so then it's like, I'm out of my 2 go-tos. Where do I go next? And then I'm
Oh,
like,
okay.
oh,
That
Tom
makes
Petty
sense.
radio. I like some T Petty. Throw it on, boom, bangers. And now I'm in that mood. Now that's all I want to listen to until I get the no skips left.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's
Yeah.
kind of how my music goes. And it's just from day. Like I'll listen to Tom Petty that day, and then I'll be like, God, that shit was good. And then I'll get in the car when I go home, and I'll be like, I want to keep listening to that. And then I'll go on for a couple days until I run out of those skips.
Yeah, see, I've seen little glimpses of that. Like I won't be in the car with you, obviously, for a couple of days, and then all of a sudden, whatever it is, we're going to the store or something like that. I'll hop in, and it's like, oh, this is on, and I'm like, okay, so it was one of those days for him,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah, and it's funny because it matters nothing about my emotion that
No,
day.
no, it's just
It's just what was on.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like
and
that,
then
that's-
you just
that's what
went in
life
deep
threw at
with
me.
it.
Yeah, and then you just kind of go, you roll
Yeah,
with it, you know?
right?
Like, it's really weird. I have certain songs from different genres that I just remember,
Mhm.
like not like, oh, I know that lyric. It's like I remember when I first heard that song,
Right.
or like I remember, just something, a lyric or something. I'll be like, it makes you feel a certain way,
It does.
and I go straight for that.
Mm-hmm. I have a very conscious one with that Post Malone's first song, White Iverson. I was literally sitting on my couch in the second place that I lived in, Oregon, and my sister goes, "Hey, you need to listen." Or no. White Iverson was I was in the drive-thru of an In-N-Out with my sister, and she goes, "Oh, we need to listen to this song. I think you'll like it." And then we played it, and I obviously liked it. And it's just funny that like that one. I think of that every single time White Iverson comes on because it's just funny.
Yeah, and-
Also,
and-
there's a running joke with my sister that anytime I go hard with an artist, you can trace it back to the fact that my sister showed me one song of theirs, and then now I can't stop.
So we have defeated this.
Have we?
NF, your sister did
So
not show
NF,
you
correct. NF is the one, and he's now probably what I would consider my favorite artist.
And-
But like Post Malone, Russ, even she showed me Losing Control.
Okay, so she's got 2 of the big 3 though.
Yeah,
So she's doing
Yeah.
well.
Ye-
But NF,
oh, yeah.
NF was new.
NF was new. Yeah. And
And
she didn't. I showed her NF actually.
And where did you hear NF?
You.
But was it me or was it the radio?
Well, so it was that. I remember it was in your car, and the first song was "How Could You Leave Us."
Oh, so it was me.
No, it was not that song.
No.
It was "Remember This"
it was
or "Let
Remember
You
This.
Down." One of those two.
Or was it?
On the way to the gym, I want to say we were
Okay.
in your. I
Okay,
know
so it
100%.
was me,
Yes.
and it was okay.
Yeah.
So it's funny, like when you hear an artist,
Mm.
and before they're big, like so for me, mine that is big for me was Halsey.
Mhm.
I went to an Imagine Dragons concert in Portland,
Mhm.
and that was the opener. She was the 3rd person, so she
Right.
was the original opener to another middle person who sucked, and it was Halsey, them, and then Imagine Dragons. So and we
wow.
had a girl in front of us, so we're in standing room who's like, I'm here for Halsey, could care less about Imagine Dragons, and we're like, oh, what? And she's like, I'm a huge fan. Wait till you guys hear.
And
her.
you had never heard of.
And I've never even heard of this person. So I'm
Okay.
like, who is this? And then, so I don't know if you guys have ever seen pictures of Halsey prior, but Halsey's like what you would consider like this super beautiful, wholesome girl at the time.
Mhm.
Like she came out in like a nice dress, non-revealing. Obviously,
Yeah.
things change when you're a celebrity. Life goes a little differently, and that's
Mhm.
fine. Like it is what it is. But she like came out with blue hair, and she was super
Short
sweet,
or long.
long blue hair, and she was like super sweet, and it was like blondish with blue in
Yeah.
it, you know.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm nearing the end of my tour. You guys have all been so amazing to me. Like, I just can't wait till this is my venue. Like, you guys are here for the Imagine Dragons. Like, I can't wait till I get to live this. And she's like, I know I'll get there, but like, just thank you for being here, and I hope you guys give me a shot. And like, she was like this super sweet girl, and then you hear her sing, and everyone there instantly became a fan.
How many songs did she sing?
Like, she got like a solid 7 or 8 in,
Oh,
which is
whoa.
pretty big for an
Yeah, that's a
opener.
good amount.
And then she sang Americana, which was by far her first big song.
Mhm.
And we were all like, who is this? Like, she's good.
Right.
And then, like, Danielle and I went home. We're like, she's good. Like, Danielle put it on her phone, the whole thing. Like, just like Kid the Band with you.
Yeah. That's
She put it on her
exactly-
phone. And we both said, like, yeah, she'll be big one day.
That's funny.
And then Americana, over the next 3 months, just blew up. And we're like, oh, that's really cool. We listened to that live, like, 3-4 months ago.
Right.
And then now, obviously, she's huge. And like, it's weird to say I went to a concert and I saw
Well,
Halsey. when
yeah.
I didn't pay to see her.
I'm
That's what I
not
was there for.
particularly like a Halsey fan. I don't really know many of her, or I don't know her songs names, but like I know I've heard them. So the fact that she's like newly as big as she is was news to me. So I remember when you first told me that, I was like, oh wow. And then it really makes you think like, what other artists could you have, or could have been in that same, a recent success that we just don't know of. But it's like, yeah, back in that situation, back not too long ago, they were opening for bigger bands.
That's the crazy part.
Yeah.
Is they start out as openers at time, and
It's just tough to imagine.
You're
they came from
listening
that
to
same
someone
spot,
random who no one knows. No one knows the songs. No one knows how to sing for them.
which is another crazy thing to think about the fact that
Not only do they not sing along though, but have you ever stood GA at a concert?
is that like where you're like down on the thing
Correct.
right next
You're
to
on the floor.
I have not. I've only been to
Okay.
like 3,
Well, let me tell you this.
maybe 4.
At that Imagine Dragons concert, you got to remember I'm
Oh, you were-
I'm 90 years old.
Right.
I have
How
bad
old were
back.
you really?
Shoot, that was 4 years ago. So
Yeah.
I'm 20. I'm 19, 20, somewhere
Oh,
in that
wow.
area. So I'm a young
So you're
young
90
stallion.
now. You're 90 now. So what were you then? 75.
Oh, I was 90 then. I was actually might have been 95 then. Like
Oh, so you're
I've aged
120
better.
now.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. No, I aged a little bit better. Like my back got a little less in pain.
Okay.
However,
So you're-
sitting and standing for long periods of time just don't work for me. Like I need the ability to do what I need to do.
Sure.
It was so bad post Halsey. I'm sitting on the ground of this floor because I am in such pain. And so like
Wait, you're telling me after Halsey, you
Oh,
took a seat on the ground
I
and
crisscross applesauce on the ground in a crowd of people.
while Imagine Dragons was on the stage.
No.
Like
Well,
breaks.
like in the break, I'm crisscross applesauce.
Oh, there's nothing
and
wrong
then
with that.
and then the other band came out. I don't remember who it was. They were terrible.
Oh,
And they came out, and I was like, should I just sit during this whole thing?
then you did.
No, I didn't.
Oh,
Not
okay.
the whole thing. That might be fucked up.
I was just about to
I
say
get
that's
called
a
on
little
the stage if that takes place.
fucked.
But I definitely sat for like the first couple songs because I was in so much pain.
Yeah.
So, but like the GA is such a hit or miss. It's the best seats in the house. 'cause
How
you're so
can it
close.
be hit? I'm trying to understand
Get
how
there
can.
early enough,
Uh-huh.
you get to be like the first person. You can be against the rail, front row.
Right.
Like you are the ones high fiving them when they come
Okay.
to the,
Okay.
to the front.
Sure.
However, if you're that 6'7" kid, you buy GA, you
Oh, you're an
ruin it for
asshole.
about 8 people.
Yeah.
Like you're not an asshole because I get it. You're an asshole even if you're sitting in the stands and you're 6'7". No
That's
one
true.
can
You
see
can't
over
control the
you.
fact you're 6'7". You still
Yeah,
want to be
yeah.
up there anyway.
But it sucks for 8 people.
Right.
Like you have ill effect on multiple people, and I've had that too, where it's just like this sucks. Like
Oh, you've been directly behind that guy.
I've been behind those guys. I feel like I have been that guy. You know, when you have
Right,
like that like
yep.
kid at the concert or whatever,
Yeah.
and they just can't see, and you're like, kind of feel bad. It happens to
Yeah.
me at football games sometimes. You know, I'm not a small dude.
Yeah, and you feel bad, but then you're also at the same time you're like, man, I pay for the seat. Like,
Yeah,
I, can't
I pay for the
control.
seat
I'm
and I
not
wanna
gonna I'm not
stand.
gonna slouch, or I'm not gonna take a knee.
Oh, you want to talk about something so irritating?
Yeah.
Let's talk about going to a game like
Yep.
a duck game.
Right.
You want to stand because it's big,
Yeah.
and you have all these old people. Sit down. I can't see with you standing.
Is
And
that a
they're just-
common thing?
Oh my god! And I just
Have
wanna
I
hit
ever,
'em.
I have ever told you about the story of the Holiday Bowl
Oh, I am thrilled for the Holiday Bowl story.
with me, my brother, and my dad?
No, but after you tell a story, I have a story that I might top it.
Okay. Oh, it's gonna top it because it's pretty anticlimactic, but in the situation,
Let's say
it was.
12-year-old Connor was a hot.
Oh, okay, yeah. I think I might know some of that story. already.
Yeah, I'm excited to tell it.
So, Holiday Bowl, don't know the year. You could ask my brother; he would know the year and the exact day, most likely.
Yeah, because he's.
But it was the day
he's
of the
like that.
Holiday Bowl. Yep. It was the day of the Holiday Bowl in San Diego. It was at Qualcomm Stadium where the San Diego Chargers used to play. It was Washington versus Nebraska. My dad is
Oh,
a
this is
huge
a big game
Nebraska-
for you guys.
Correct.
This is like I'm a fan. This is
correct.
it's close. It's like we're going.
No,
hard.
yeah, 100%. And Nebraska fans traveled well, very well, but Washington fans traveled better because we're on the Pacific Coast where Washington is. Anyway, we happened to sit in a section that was primarily Washington fans. Obviously, we expected it. Anyway, a game starts during the national anthem. We all stand up. Obviously, we stand up. We're putting our hands over our hearts.
As most people do.
Correct.
99.9% of people.
Yeah, 99.9% chance there was a 99-year-old behind us with his homie that was 30. Okay, just this 30-year-old guy and this 99-year-old guy that was just trying to enjoy the game. And we kind of insinuated that they were neither Washington or Nebraska fans by the fact that they weren't wearing anything of either of the teams, and they were season ticket Charger fans just there because they got they could go to this game because it was Qualcomm Stadium. And anyway, they start giving. So Bo's tall. Bo's my brother. He's a couple inches taller than I am. He's probably 6'3", and at this point as well. And we're all standing up, and he happens to be directly in front of this 99-year-old guy. I don't actually know if he's 99. He's just an old fart, okay? And he starts heckling my brother to sit down.
And let's just get one thing clear. You can be above 60 and not age well and look like you're 99.
Oh yeah, and I think that's the situation we have.
Like that is there's a good possibility. You
Correct.
might not have aged well, and you just might look 99.
Correct. So. Anyway, yeah, he was just he was giving my brother a hard time. My dad, who is a big guy, didn't chime in at first because it was just this old guy, giving my brother crap, and it's like, okay, well, I'm obviously not gonna sit down. But then this 30-year-old guy that he was with started telling my brother to sit down too, or else. And so we're like, oh geez, this escalated quickly. My brother's denying, and he's asking if he wants to take him outside real quick and teach him a lesson. And so now this is when my dad obviously turns around. And my dad is 6'4". At this point, he's probably, 260, 275 pounds. And he has just arms the size of most people's legs, just because that's the type of guy he is. And so then my dad turns around and he's like, this is not happening. And I want to say, I can't remember verbatim, but I want to say at one point my dad was like, oh, okay, let's go. All nicely, because it's like, well, obviously this, 5'5" guy didn't really want to fight my dad. He wanted to try to fight my brother or threaten him because he felt good about it. Anyway, that was it. It was literally, they were pissed because they did not get to see the national anthem being played. That was it. Or it might have been opening kickoff. I can't remember. I think it was opening kickoff, actually, now I think about it. So we missed the first drive because it was this, And then there was just general tenseness that loomed throughout the first and second quarter because of that. It's like, oh my, can we even cheer or whatever? Now these people are Washington fans because we're all wearing Nebraska stuff, Yeah, but
almost identical situation, except mine's really weird.
Okay.
So I am 12-ish.
Mm-hmm.
I'm young. I'm a kid, and when I'm a 12-year-old, all I want to do is tag along with the older siblings.
Yeah.
That's what you want to do.
Yeah.
So my brother and all his friends, as well as my sister, all get the great idea that they're going to go watch the Ducks play Washington State at Quest up in Seattle. So
okay.
there's they get to play one game at Seattle, or the Seahawks game, and we get to go. And my brother's like, you want to go? I'll take you up. You can obviously ride with me, be with me, and we'll figure it out from there.
Sure.
And so I'm like, of course I want to go. That sounds like a great experience. Well, when we get there, we park in, we're smart. We park in the right spot and whatnot. Yeah. Well, in between Safeco and Quest, because they're right next to each other, there's this, those big, I don't even know, cargo bins that are by water, just the huge ones that are being lifted by cranes.
Yeah.
It's like a spot for those where you could get away with anything.
Oh, you go between a couple of crates.
Not necessarily, but that's the area we're in. There's water around, and
sure.
That's where you're at. We're in a back alley.
Oh,
it's
I
it's
see.
all rock.
Mm-hmm.
There are cars to the left and right parked for the game, and it looks like it's probably the main tailgate spot for the sketchy ones.
Okay.
Of course, they're all Washington State fans. We're walking by.
And you guys are decked out in Oregon stuff.
Oh, of course.
Right.
I mean, we drove up for the game,
Obviously.
so we're chilling.
Yeah, you have to be.
And we have 3 girls with us, 2 or 3 girls with us.
Okay.
Both young. They're 19 at the time.
Sure.
And then you have all their significant others as well as friends, and then you have myself, the young one.
Right.
We're walking, and the most vulgar things are getting yelled at us. Just
okay.
We're walking in between these, and they're to the left and right of us, yelling like, "Oh, You guys are lesbians, aren't you? You should come over to our tailgate. We'll show you how it's done. Blah blah blah.
What does that
Let's go. Let's go 9 on 50. We'll fuck you guys up. Like all this stuff, and it's just like I'm a 12-year-old, and my brother's immediately like, he's got the girl, and he's got me.
how
He's
old's your
not
brother?
liking this. That's not a situation you want to see my
Your
brother.
brother's 5 years older or something like that?
My brother, no, he's 8 years older.
Oh,
So my
okay.
brother's like 19.
Okay,
It's not a situation you want to see my brother in. When it comes to people who are close to him, he has a fuse that is very short.
Okay.
And he gets going quick.
Sure.
Well, instead of trying to start a fight, it was, let's just get through this as fast as we can, because clearly this is going to happen to everyone. They're not meaning anything, and this is their way of fun or whatever.
Right, which
you
is
know?
the proper thing to do.
And so we just speed walk through it. Okay, we get into the game, and most people probably don't remember this game, but it was loud.
Mhm.
Like it was one of the louder things I've ever been a part of, because they weren't very good, and they were through the first half they were beating us, and it was like, oh shit, and Oregon
so
was
people
good.
were amped.
And so it was loud, like definitely.
Who's on this Oregon team?
Oh my god, I don't even know what year it was.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you.
Okay.
I honestly don't remember it, because I don't remember anything from the game but this moment right here.
Oh,
What I
wow.
just told you in this next moment. So we are probably a quarter through. I am on the far right of everyone. I am the last person in the row, because
Right.
I'm not shy. I can sit next to just some
A
random
random,
stranger.
right?
And Brittany is right to my left, and then it's my brother, and so forth all the way down the line.
Okay.
Right behind us are 2 Duck fans.
Nice.
We have one. They're both older. They're both probably 40 years old.
Okay.
We have one who's probably 5'6", 130 pounds, and
Okay.
he's a grown man.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have one who sits down, doesn't stand up the entire time, and he's big. He's like your dad. He's like 6'4", 300
Okay.
pounds. He's a big boy.
Right.
Right. And he doesn't say a word. Right.
Yep.
The shorter gentleman
Mhm.
was belligerent. I mean,
And I
shit
misheard. These are Oregon fans.
these are Duck fans.
Nice.
These are fellow Duck fans.
Okay,
So,
cool,
so we're
cool.
like, hell yeah, we're sitting next to Duck fans.
Right.
It's going to go great.
Yeah.
Well, he's belligerent. And in Quest, you have an abundance of seating room, more so than anywhere else I've ever been.
Nice. You can kind of like
You are
stretch out.
comfortable. You
Oh,
can
that's
you
awesome.
can put your legs, so like when you're sitting in your
Yeah.
on the bleacher, you can put your legs out like a full 2 steps, and you're not even close to someone. Like there is plenty of room.
Wow.
Like it's actually impressive how much room you have.
Yeah.
So this guy is continuously standing on our bleachers rather than where he's at, which isn't a big deal because we're also standing. So we're not getting upset.
Yeah.
And so we get to the point where it's kind of like, my brother says something like, hey, man, go ahead and stand in like your seat. Right?
Yeah.
And then the guy's belligerent, so he doesn't even think twice about it. He just scoots back real quick,
Okay.
right? No big deal. You know, some random chirping starts happening where the guy's like, oh, well, we paid to sit here, so we do whatever the fuck we want.
Which guy? Random.
No, the big guy sitting down who's doing nothing,
Oh,
just
okay.
sitting there, standing up for his drunk friend. And my brother goes, actually, no, you paid for the seat you're in, so you can sit in or stand in your seat. You don't need to
Right.
protrude into mine. Little arguing match, blah, blah, blah. Brittany pulls my brother, says like, shut up. Like, we don't want to do this right now, blah, blah, blah. Because my brother's a little notorious to be a little firehead,
Yeah.
a little hot. And I'm also the same way. I have a lot more patience. However, when I get there,
You're there.
you don't want to see it. Like
Right.
it's not something you want to be a part of. And even at 12, it's not something you want to be part of. Not because I'm going to do damage, just because I ain't
Yeah, but
backing
you're
down. It
just not
doesn't matter what you
stopping.
look like. I
Right.
will go till you kill me. And it's just, I don't know why, but we have that fuse. You
Yeah.
don't want to get us to that point, because when we get to that point, there's no stopping it.
Right.
And it's at night. It's cold. Well, the drunk guy decides he's going to put in some chew.
Okay.
No big deal. Well, he starts spitting it, and it is going into the cracks down by our feet.
Okay.
We tell him, you're spitting at our feet. Like, can you please stop? That kind of thing. Blah blah blah. Well, the straw that broke the back, the bear sitting there, me at 12. The straw that broke my back was when he spit and it landed on Brittany's white North Face jacket.
Oh.
I turn around and I put my finger like to his chest like a child, and I say, "You sit the fuck down right now, or I'm gonna beat your fucking ass." And you gotta remember, I'm young. My brother looks over at me like with the biggest eyes, and Brittany's eyes are just huge, looking forward, and they're both just looking at me like, "What just happened?"
Yeah.
Like this went from 0 to 1,000,000 quick.
Because you weren't
And I
chiming
am
in the whole
Screaming
time.
into this guy. And this guy's drunk. So like he's not
Yeah.
even like he's not arguing back.
Yeah.
He's not even really coherent with me.
Right.
And so he like steps back and he's like, "My bad, man." He starts freaking out. And I'm like, I'm just screaming at him. And then the big guy chirps and he's like, "Haha, look at you, little kid sticking up, blah, blah, blah." And I go, "Shut up too, old fat guy." I was like, "I'll beat your fucking ass
You
too."
said old fat guy.
Yeah. And I'm just reaming into this dude. I'm screaming at this dude. Oh,
Just-
and this guy would just throw me. He
Right.
threw me out of the state. Like,
Yeah,
stadium.
he would have
could just
thrown you
toss me
multiple sections
rows
down.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And I'm just reaming into this guy. And this guy says, "You should shut the fuck up right now." And I was like, "How about you fucking make me? And then after you throw a hand at me and I beat your ass, you got to go to jail because you tried to touch a 12-year-old and you got your ass kicked by a 12-year-old." And I'm just reaming and I'm going, I'm heated, dude. I'm just fucking like, I'm hot. I'm red.
Yeah.
And this is in the fucking first quarter. This is game started. Like,
Yeah.
this isn't even, it's not even like heated moment. It's just these guys are fucking tools.
Right.
It got so bad that like my brother didn't stop me. Brittany didn't stop me. They shut up. I turned around. They left at halftime and never came back.
Nice.
Just literally gone. They left.
Right.
And the part that I'll never forget was Brittany said, "I'm in a t-shirt and it's fucking cold."
Yeah.
Brittany goes, "Do you want a jacket? Are you cold?" And I go, "I'm fine. I'm hot. Like I'm warm right now, Brittany." And she's like, "Okay." And like that was it. No words were ever spoken.
Dang, ruined the North Face jacket.
Nothing, dude. Yeah, dude, chew spit on someone else's jacket. Like,
Oh,
how
she threw it out. Or
inconsiderate
she
are
left
you?
it there. She probably
How
left it there.
inconsiderate can you possibly be?
Right.
If you're chewing, which is already, why are you doing that at a football game? Because, like,
Well, where are you
there's
gonna
no
put it?
good disposal of it,
No.
unless you have your own like
Water bottle
cup
that
or
you're
something that you
spitting
had
it
there.
in.
Like,
Right.
why are you doing that at people's feet? Like, come on, that's already just kind of messed up.
Yeah.
Like, people are walking all over the place. Like, why are we doing that?
Right.
Then to do it at other people, like we're talking on our bleacher seat, on our like come on.
And
man.
it doesn't help that you. Well, I guess they travel too. I was gonna say it doesn't help that you're not local, so it's not necessarily a place that you've been multiple times or that it took 20 minutes to get to. You know, so you're like you're amping yourself up the whole time you're getting there. You want this to be just the greatest experience, and so in the first quarter when it's just all downhill, you're pissed. You know, because it's like, well, come on.
Well, then
man.
it doesn't make it better that we're losing or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Finally, we went on a
right.
run, and we ended up just destroying it in the
Yeah.
second half, and it ended up being a good trip.
Yeah.
But and then to end the trip, this is the other thing. I watched a hit and run in that same alley. I watched a guy
Whoa.
who had a kid. He had a kid to his right, and he was in the left. A car like hit him at like 15 miles an hour, and he rolled off and like did a roll, and then got up and started running.
The
car
kid
just fucking
didn't?
booked it.
The
No,
kid didn't
kid
get
did
hit?
not get hit. It was the dad.
Wow.
And then like the dad started running after the car, and the car just took off. Like it was like when I say you could go there and you could like that's where you get away with murder. If I
Oh,
was
it
said,
looks like
"Connor,
that.
I need you, like you have to do this,
You
or
have to-
everyone dies that you know, blah blah blah. You have to kill this person." That's where I'm going. Like that's where I get away with it is in that spot, and it
Wow.
was dude like to that day, like that's the spot, and it's terrible. I don't
Is
want to.
Seattle inherently sketchy, or is it just this spot?
There are places in Seattle that are probably sketchy, just like there are anywhere.
Right.
It's funny. I always hear like, "Oh, don't go to that part of Eugene, like the Whitaker area."
Yeah.
Bro, I've been to the Whitaker area. There's
No,
nothing to
it's
be worried
fine.
about.
Anybody that's complaining over something like that in Eugene doesn't really know what it's like to be in a bad area.
Oh,
And I know what it's like to be in a relatively bad area for where I'm at, yet you transfer me into a place like New York or LA, then all of a sudden I have no idea what it's like to be in a bad area because
no,
in
it
reality.
changes.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
you might actually have a legit like you really know what a bad area is.
Yeah.
And in Cal, I mean, you had a couple places that probably weren't. They're a lot worse than anything I've ever seen.
Sure, but they were small bad areas, you know.
Yeah,
like,
but there are
I've never
bad
been in a
areas where
section
you're
where
not
it's
going
like,
there.
well, right.
I've
you know.
never been
but
in-
you're a quick 30-second sprint away from being okay.
Oh, okay,
you know.
okay. I've never been in an area where it's like it's so bad you can't be there after 10. Like the
Oh,
moment
yeah,
it's
yeah.
that, it's like, oh, what? Like, what do you mean you can't be there after 10? Oh, like if you go there, like you're getting confronted, and it's like
Right.
I've never been there.
Right.
I've never been in that situation.
Yet I'm not envious of people that have.
No, not at all. I don't want to be a part of it. But yeah, like, dude, just the disrespect some people have.
Yeah.
Just the fact that they don't understand what's wrong
Yeah.
is mind blowing.
Homie got way too wasted in the pregame that they had to leave, and you know they left because the bigger guy was like, "I got to take care of stupid Johnny who is falling asleep, and he's just out, and it's halftime." That's
Well,
why they left.
And he's probably pissed because of him.
Y-
You know what
yeah,
I mean?
probably.
He's only getting mad at
Probably.
me because I'm the one who's saying something to his face about how idiotic he is for getting
Right?
belligerent.
Yeah, he's probably also not happy with his bud.
Silly people, man. And I've had so many other stadium instances like that are just like, I understand why some people don't like going to the game.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I had anyway, while you were telling that story, I was thinking of one time someone spit chew straight on my new white van.
Oh, fuck that person.
Huh?
Purpose? Accident?
It was an accident. I know who it was, but I didn't notice it at the time. I noticed it like an hour later, and I was like, oh, no. It was already like dry. Yeah, just a nice
No
little.
cleaning it.
Nice
Just
little, like,
ruined a brand new pair of shoes.
Yeah. Oh, I still wore them.
Whoa, speaking about Vans, do you remember Daniel at the white Vans? Remember that?
Oh, the meme?
Yeah.
What was it? How did it go again? Damn, Daniel?
Damn, Daniel.
Yeah.
Back at it again with the white Vans.
Yeah,
That kid?
Yeah, do you remember he was on Ellen?
Yeah, but you don't.
Huh?
You remember why? Because he got
because of
beat
that.
up. And no, he got beat up like really bad and someone stole his shoes. Or something like that. Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know what's true and not true,
Right.
just being up here. But yeah, I heard he like got beat up really bad and someone stole his shoes or whatever.
You ever seen shoes by the laces on telephone poles?
I have seen that, and I think it's so stupid.
How is that still a thing? I grew up in an area where that you see that, and it's like, wait, hold up. Anybody that's gonna steal shoes enough to be able to huck them up there, but
You're a dick.
yeah, you're
If
just
you're
an
stealing
asshole.
shoes,
Also, you need to take your talents somewhere because wonderful throw.
yeah, that's not easy.
No.
I haven't
Never tried it,
that.
but I feel like it's
Listen,
hard.
I've put plenty of balls in trees and
Right.
plenty of balls stuck on basketball rims and plenty of things like that. And
Right.
I've gotten plenty more stuck while trying to get them off.
Yeah.
That if I see you throw the shoe end over end and land it perfectly on first try, you have fucking skill.
Yeah.
Skill I wish I had.
That's not an easy
And we
thing to do.
should teach you how to play some sports because you got some in you. You got some talent.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely some major talent that I doesn't exist in my body. I feel like there's so many other stupid things that take place. Like, okay, hold on. Let's talk about this that I've never heard of, and I'd love to hear someone else tell me they have, except for you now. Who the fuck took toilet paper when they were in the bathroom in school, got it wet, and threw it against the ceiling so it would harden?
Okay, so now I want to clear the record. I have not done this personally, but oh yeah, you'll see it ever. Now I'll actually more commonly see it on the walls than the ceiling. So you'll take it, you'll wet it like an idiot, right? And then you just start. It's like a giant spitball, but you threw it with your hand instead of spitting it out of a straw. It's exactly like that.
I've never even seen this, let alone even known about it. And Danielle's
That's
sitting to me
mind-blowing.
like, oh, that happens in the girls' room all the time. It was fun. Huh? Are you stupid? What is the bathroom for you people?
Maybe you just and you guys were to school in the same area.
We went to the same schools, plural, and I had never seen it. Is this a girl thing more than a
no,
guy
I
thing?
think what has happening is you enter bathrooms and close your eyes, and then you leave and then open them. I think. That's
Or
what
I
happens.
use the bathroom for what it is. I piss and I don't poop. Not in public restrooms. No way.
Let me ask you this: what age did you start pooping in public restrooms? Other than when it's like an emergency and you have to.
That's the only time I am.
Oh, even right now.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh wow! Look at you.
I'm not like a, oh dude, I gotta go and I can't hold it. And if it's that, it's obviously you just gotta do it and you gotta hate yourself.
Right.
But like the most public I'll get is like airports, and I hate myself.
So I'm with you on that
And
one.
I hate myself because there's hundreds of people going in there smelling what you just did, and it's not something to be ashamed of. Like you can't be like, oh, that guy stunk it up. It's like, dude, you can't control what it smelled like. Like you're an asshole for picking
Yeah, but
the
if
10
anything-
out of 10 smell. You
Well,
know?
sure. I mean, if anything, though, airports are good for that reason because
'cause
they're
no one knows.
giant.
No one knows
Well,
it.
also they're giant. So it's not like you're going into a 2-stall bathroom and it's like, oh, this guy sucks. No, you're going to like a 30-stall bathroom.
Yeah,
At least the
and
ones that I'm thinking of.
No,
you know?
and there's 50 bathrooms, different bathrooms.
Right,
But
right.
still, I just don't like being that guy. You know,
I don't necessarily
I like
either.
in my private of my own bathroom,
Right.
so I don't have to worry about anything.
Right. I mean, it depends on the bathroom. Like, if I can find myself going into a Starbucks, it's like, oh, and then the job has to be done. Starbucks bathrooms are wonderful.
That's
just
hilarious.
make it happen.
I've heard of people picking spots like, oh, dude,
Yeah.
Petco bathrooms are the way to go.
Oh yeah, like if you have a shit spot, that's great.
So I know someone. I won't say names, but I know someone who is definitely not one to be scared of going in public, right?
Sure.
And he has those places picked. Like he has like a ranking system of what's the best bathroom to take a shit in. If you have to
Oh,
shit.
so now let
So
me
like
ask you this.
Petco's top 5 because they give you a ton of room and never anyone there,
That's
and
nice.
you never have to worry about it. And he's like, and so it's fairly clean too.
He should create a forum. A
Oh, I
local
think
forum.
it's genius. Poop place, man.
Yeah, he's got to let people know
Yeah.
because
I
other
would love
people
to
are
know.
also worrying about this same thing.
Yeah, like
you know?
where's the best place to go? Like, can I go into like a cell phone store and be like, hey man, you got a bathroom I can use? And you're like, no
Right.
one's ever using that bathroom.
Right.
But then you're the asshole that blows up the AT&T when everyone's working there, you know? So it's like,
Which
where
is-
where is the place?
Right.
Maybe it is Petco's. I mean, maybe that is the spot.
Maybe it's just all Petco's.
I think it's key to find. I mean, the things you'd be looking for is one, sanitary is probably number one,
Right.
and then number two is probably like how many people saw you go to the bathroom. Like I think that's
Oh,
number
really?
two. Like
So,
I
I
think
mean,
you want to be able to creep.
I'm just gonna go ahead and speak from experience. Where I work, which I'm just gonna leave nameless, is right now is in a retail location. You know, where there's a lot of retail stores around, and for a while our bathroom, just it wasn't the place to go unless you had to pee. You know, like you just needed to do your own plumbing a favor because you know what it's like, right? And you just didn't want to risk anything, right? So it was easy to just leave, walk on over to the little department store right next door, and they have a bathroom in the back that is usually uninhabited. You take a little stroll in there. It's nice. It's fairly big. There's only one stall though. Or sorry, no, there's two. But yeah, no, that was a nice little spot. And the deed had to be done.
I don't
Because I mean,
understand.
work's a different story.
I don't
You're at work,
understand
you-
how people got that ability. Like
do you mean?
growing up, it's almost like your parent was like, "Listen, kid."
Oh,
if
I'm gonna
you-
be completely
if you
honest,
have
dude.
to
I was
shit,
one of
you
those
shit.
kids. Oh no, I was one of the kids that, for the life of me, I don't think I ever shit at school, barring emergency, until college, straight up.
You may call me out on this,
Go ahead.
and I want to be honest. I would go on a bet saying I pooped at the school less than 10 times in my entire in my life.
I'm not gonna call you on. I believe it.
Maybe counting U of O, unless we're counting like the rec, because then all of a sudden it's like, oh.
So now
work
why the
out
rec
and like
though?
that. Because then it's all of a sudden like it's no longer.
You're in a smelly area. Is
No,
your
no,
idea?
No,
Ah.
you're no longer there for just school. It's not like I'm going home after this. It's like I got the gym. I now I'm
Oh,
gonna
I
go
see what
play
you're saying.
basketball. It's like now all of a sudden if it comes up, I gotta just do it
I see what you're
and
saying.
suck it up.
Right.
But like, I'm gonna say I have more times at the school than 10 if we're counting like baseball practice when no one's at the school.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But
yeah.
that
Like
doesn't
it's
count. That's
past
not the same.
4.
Yeah.
Everyone's
gone, but like 2 teams that doesn't count.
That doesn't count.
That's not the
No,
same.
because now it's just a bathroom.
Correct,
Now
correct.
it's not
at
a
that
school
point,
bathroom.
we're good, dude. No one's gonna say a word on my
Right.
team.
Right.
But it's like when school's in sesh, I would say probably less than 10 times all the way through a college. I'm just not my thing.
What about
not the
the?
place
Oh,
to
how
be.
about this? How about this? I got one for you. How many times have you shit in, like when you were a guest in someone's home?
Dude, I don't do it.
Really?
I mean, this is gonna sound weird.
Now I'm
you
with
know that
you,
creeper
but
at night who like walks around the house like to try to find food or something? I was the one who
you're
like
that person looking
creeped
for
to
an
go
empty
shit.
bathroom.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like-
you
like
wait
it's
till
like,
everyone's in bed to
oh,
shit.
it's 11 o'clock now. Everyone's sleeping. It's like now no one will know I shit, and
And
then when
now-
they wake up, it's gone. Like
Right.
it's perfect. It's the
So it's a-
foolproof plan.
So it's a courtesy thing for you.
Oh yeah. 100%. It's I don't
Which
want
is
to be
fair.
that guy.
Which is fair.
What about
Um,
you? Like, are
no,
are
I mean,
you,
same,
I'm
I
going to
guess.
my friend's house.
No, I mean it obviously depends on how close I am with the person, but the main factor is how many people are present. Because there's a lot of people, then all of a sudden your numbers of being discovered skyrocket, and then it's just not
For sure.
worth it. You know, have you ever made an exit from a situation because of shitting?
Are you talking like I gotta get out of here? 'cause
Like
have to
I was
poop?
planning on leaving at this time, but it's 2 hours prior, and it's like it's time to make a decision. I got to leave, guys.
I mean, I know for a fact I have, but I don't remember the situation. Like,
Okay.
I know for a fact there was at some point in my life where it's like, this
Something's
has to
gotta
take
happen. A
place
decision
now.
has to
I
be
don't
made.
remember.
Right.
What about you? Do you have one in like in front of your mind that you're like, yep, that was the time?
No, I do. I mean, it wasn't anything major. It was just the definition of what I was asking. There was one time that we were over doing it was like a weekend thing. It was at U of O, and everyone was drinking, and it was a point where it's like, oh, this is the bathroom that everybody uses. You know, if you gotta go pee or whatever. Very familiar bathroom, but then it was one weekend. It was like, oh no, it's not just pee time, and based on the time, I knew, we're getting out of here in a few hours. Can I make it? And it was like, nope. And so I let my buddy know. I was like, hey, you're staying. You're not leaving with me. Like I went with him, and like I don't really know anybody there, so it's like, but he knows everyone. So it's like, hey, by the way, I'm dipping, because I got to go satisfy this. Fast walked home, took care of it. Great night. That was it. But I mean, but I would have liked to stay. You know,
Oh,
I was
for
supposed
sure.
to be there for 2 hours more but we had to call it.
What about like working retail? Have you ever had that moment where, like you're kind of like me, like you're a hustler. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like you're there to do your job.
Right.
You're not there to do nothing,
Right.
right? When you're there and there are customers present, you're there to grind, right?
Right.
Like you're not that kind of person like, I'll skip this guy.
Correct.
You know, you ever have that moment since we're those people and we're usually pretty busy? Did you ever have the moment where it's like, I have to pee so bad?
Yes.
I have so many people.
I have had that.
Have you blown a sale because of something like that, or like because the customer smelled or something? Like, have you ever on purposely just like, I gotta get you out?
100%. Yeah. Because so the second part, the smell one, the pee one, I'm usually able to, deal with because I'll find some sort of time where it's like it's time to do it and it won't affect me and the rest of my day or how things look right when I'm done. But no, the smell one, 100%. Yeah, there comes a time when it's like working sales, obviously, where every person that you're working with or every exchange that you have has the ability to make you money. There becomes a time where it's like it's no longer worth it.
What is the rudest thing you've ever said to a customer? Like, what have you said to a customer that you're like, I shouldn't have said that?
Oh,
Because I have more than you because I'm a little more, I would say, upfront
so
when it comes to my feelings.
I don't have many, and I don't have many where it was because of like me losing my cool that I've said it, but I have said things that just came off horribly a couple times, and one of them was just a really weird situation. I don't know why it came across so weird, and it might have just because the lady was like a little sketched out, but it was one of our higher ups was giving everybody a hard time, and like the new thing to do was, hey, start asking more in-depth questions, right, to your customers. And what they meant by that was just, find out a little bit more about their personal life. And I didn't, and it was like the second customer or something like that with this on my mind, and I didn't like ask any good questions to lead up. I just like asked this woman if she was married, and then after that her answer was no, and then after that I said, oh, do you have any kids? And which is fine, but the look on her face, it was like she thought I was some sort of creeper. Because, and I think it was just the order in which I asked them. And also, I think I asked them horribly.
Well, that
like,
order is not a good order.
Well,
so are you
right,
married?
right.
I'm not married. Do you have kids?
Right.
Like,
right.
What are these questions?
Right.
Young blood?
Yeah. And so, like I said, the question wasn't bad, but you can tell on the lady's face, it was like, oh, yeah, I could have done this a better way. And I'm pretty sure I quickly fixed it, But... yeah, nothing like that. And then in terms of losing my cool, I've only lost my cool at work a couple of times, and none of them were accompanied with me saying anything that I regretted. But it was just saying a couple of things that needed to be said. There was this one instance where this customer came back and they were arguing over, their bill, which is a very common thing where, in our line of work that people will ask. Anyway, they were arguing about their bill. They were arguing about what happened, a week and a half prior when they originally came in. And it got to a point where they were so loud and we were in such a busy store that everybody was looking. And it was at a point where it was like, okay, everyone's in on this. It's now all bets are off. It's no longer a customer and an employee. It's just people talking. And so it got to a point where I was raising my voice, not yelling, but just raising my voice very loud. And I just had to defend myself in the way and I verbatim, I was like, hey, I'm not here to hurt you. Or I said, I'm not here to hurt you. That doesn't benefit me. I don't make money off of the trouble that you go through. And I'm just like saying this loudly so everybody in the store could hear. But no, I don't think I've ever said something that shouldn't have been said ever.
I'd have.
Oh, what are they?
I have for sure. Well, this lady that I'm dealing with now is probably going to get close to the top
She's
of the
gonna
list.
be up there.
And the reason why is there are a few things you can't do. There's no cursing. If you want to cuss at me, I promise you, I will go from helpful to detrimental very fast.
Yeah.
I don't care what it is. If you think you have the ability because I am a retail associate to
Right.
just belittle me and speak to me that way. Little did you know I have the power to ruin you because I have your bill in my hands.
Right.
Like I would never use that power illy, but I guarantee I ain't saving you money.
Right.
So like if you came in saying my bill's too high and blah blah blah, f you, f that, and you just get at
yeah,
me,
I can't help you.
I'm not helping you. I hope your bill's high. I hope you are on. I hope you use 1 gigabyte of data and
Right.
you're on unlimited, paying
Right.
through the roof. And I will not help you. And if we have a phone deal, I will not be telling you about that because I don't want to deal with you. And I've had those where it's probably like I probably could have handled it better, but
Right.
I don't do that well.
Yeah.
The worst one was when I called that old guy stubborn and I told him to leave my store.
I remember that.
Because he won't help himself, and so I refused to help him. And pretty much the story about that is our biggest thing to sell when I worked for previously was DirecTV, was to sell the full blown TV.
Right.
Which, besides the point, whether you like it or you don't, that was my job. He came in and he was overpaying on his bill a lot. I mean, he was $130 a month with one line using no data. Like, he didn't need to be doing that. He wanted unlimited and was paying $140. Could have been paying $60. Explained that to him. I also told him I could get him a really good deal on TV for $30 a month. So I could save him $40 a month. And he's like, I really want TV too. That's what he told me.
Right.
So he's like, I want to save money and I want TV. How can I do that? And I showed him a way to save $40 and do both of those things.
Right.
So save $40 and get what he wanted. And he's like, no, I don't want change. And like, it was like one of those things where I was like, am I not hearing you right? Like,
right.
I want this, I want that. I offer it to you. And then it's all like, no, I don't want that. It's like, officially you or I am stupid.
Want?
Like, something's going on
So
that I
there's
don't
a disconnect
understand.
here somewhere.
Exactly. And it was like 5 minutes of me explaining, like, I don't understand why you're saying no to this. Like, are you good? Like, you all right? Like, that's what it was like for 5 minutes. And we're talking like an old gentleman. He's not young. And
Under 80?
yeah, he was probably probably 65 to 75.
Okay.
And he looked at me and he's like, am I frustrating you?
Oh, wow.
After
he
like
asked
5
you that.
minutes. And I said, I'm going to be honest with you, sir. Am I allowed to be honest? And he goes, yeah, you could be honest with me. Say whatever you need. I said, you're being a stubborn old man who's refusing to help himself. And your stubbornness is absolutely irritating. So I need you to leave my store. Because if you can't help yourself, I'm not going to help you. So will you please leave?
And did he leave?
I said, you're wasting my time.
Yeah.
He's like, okay. And he got up and left. That's all it was. And it was just, and I said it calmly.
Sure.
I said it very truthfully.
Sure.
And he wasn't angry with me. Like, if he would have got a survey, he probably wouldn't have ripped me a new one by any means. Like,
wow.
he asked me, but I straight up told him, I was like, you're being a stubborn old man who refuses to help yourself, yet you're asking me for help. I refuse to help you. Like, you need to leave. This is irritating me. I'm done. Bye.
Right.
I'll show you the door. And like, that was
Yeah.
probably the one where it's like, I didn't hurt myself per se, but it was
Right.
like, I was done, dude. And this lady right here, she is probably 2 minutes away from getting what would be the worst. Like,
it would be that at the
she's
top of your
close.
list.
And not only would it be the top of the list, like, there's a chance I say something that would be bad. Or we're getting to that point.
Yeah, I don't. So I see what you're saying, but it's almost like, like even your explanation of what you were just saying is very similar to, I feel like, how I would quote unquote lose it if I did, and it's like nothing like worth like having to undo would ever be said. That would never come out of my mouth because it would always be on just a real level, like what is happening, you know? So it's like I don't see you saying anything that would be that bad to a point where it's like, uh-oh, I'm in trouble, because it's like when it really comes down to it, it's like, no, you have the ability to say something and make someone feel stupid and just be real, because it's like,
I have a customer who's complaining that they paid too much when they understand they should have paid $216, yet I charged them $190, and they understand I gave them a great deal, yet they're mad that they paid too much. But they agreed to pay less because they were happy that it was less.
and then now in retrospect, it's still too much.
I can't fathom that. Oh, it's going to be $216. I can't pay $216. What can you pay? What about $190? I'll do $190. That's amazing. You can do that for me? Yeah, I can do that for you. I'll do that for you. And then 2 days later, all of a sudden, it's like, why did I pay $190? That's way too much. It's like, huh? This doesn't make sense.
You hit
like,
you hit a point sometimes with certain customers that it's like, I can't help you when you say yes. Like, what do you want me to do? You can't after the fact decide otherwise. Oh, I'm mad at my past self, and I would like this to be undone. It's like, no, there was an agreement. I can't decide, oh, are you sane enough to make a good decision for yourself? Should I not, even though you want this, should I not give you this because I'm afraid in a couple of days you'll gain your sanity and want to undo it? It's like, what?
Well, the best part about this one is being prepaid. There's not really any reimbursement for her. On the receipt, it says all accessory sales final. It says
by the way.
all fees not refundable. And you can return the phones at a $35 fee that she paid $0 for. So if she
Right, so she's gonna
decided
be
she could
out
bring
money.
everything back, she would still
She would
pay
owe.
$70.
Right.
So the best part is the fact that it's like, you know what? You're right. Like next time she comes in, if she just blows up again,
Yeah.
because she's gonna come in tomorrow, even though I told her like there's nothing I can do for her right this second. Like I'm gonna help her,
Yes.
but I can't right this second. If she comes in tomorrow, I'm just gonna say we should reverse this. We should just reverse it all. It'll be $70.
Right.
You signed for it all, and I told you all this prior, but like it'll be $70 and you can return it all and you'll be out. And then it's gonna have that look on my face of like, huh? And then it's gonna be like, yeah,
yeah.
what do you think's gonna happen?
Then you'll
You
be
really think
asking
you're gonna
yourself-
win right now? Like
Right.
you're the one who signed all the documents and heard me say everything.
Right.
You just chose 2 days later to. I'm not judging this person. Maybe it comes off as I am, but a lot of my customer base is definitely not having the abundance of funds.
Okay.
Right now, times are probably not the best with what's going on.
That's true.
But 2 days later to need money and all of a sudden now
Right.
you're angry. Like,
Right.
I'm not saying that's what happened, but I'm saying there's a chance. There's a chance with my customer base that you spent
That's true.
money that you thought you had that you may need now. And I'm not here
Correct.
to say I don't feel bad, but for you to come at me acting like I was sketchy and swindling, no. Listen, I know
Yeah.
I know how I sell,
Right.
and I know I would love me if I was a customer.
Right.
And I'm not saying that in that way. I'm saying that because I'm here to do what's best for you. I'm not one that pushes things that you wouldn't want on.
Correct.
I'm helping you. I'm not trying to do that. And so the fact that she does that is like it makes me laugh. It truly does. It's funny to me that she tries to come off that way.
Right.
And that's fine. And like, I hope she comes in and actually has a real grown-up conversation rather than scream at me over a phone and not let me have a word. But
I hope so too.
because she could actually get to the point where it's like, actually, he was really nice and really helped me out rather
Yeah.
than this BS that she's going through right now.
Right. Right. Let me ask you this: what's so far the craziest thing that's happened in your opinion so far in the midst of this week and a half to 2 weeks of coronavirus?
I thought you were gonna say in retail, and I had a great story for you.
Oh, did you?
I'm gonna say something real quick about it, and
Okay,
then
go
we'll
ahead.
go back to this
Okay, go
question. We had someone who filmed my old manager at AT&T.
That's wonderful.
Filmed him and like was like blowing up like blah blah blah. This is the bitch that fucked me and like dude filmed and you know who it was. We shared mutually who this person was, and filmed that angry person all the way out.
Oh, I know who the manager is. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah. I don't know who the customer
and we're talking
is.
about for like 15 minutes, just
Oh,
filming
no.
and got kicked out of the store, and like it was bad. All customers were watching. It was amazing.
I had a customer call me a bastard once in that store.
Oh, that's awesome.
Called me a bastard because I was just one of those guys for this company that
Yep.
was.
I love that. I love the
It's like,
billing questions
sir.
that come in because it's like you AT&T, you
I'm-
F me. It's like
I am AT&T, and I'm the one
huh?
that looked at your bill and said and laughed in an evil laugh as I'm stirring my cauldron.
Yeah, like
and-
I'm the one who's honestly trying to kill you.
Yeah,
But-
I followed that guy out the door. By the way, have I told you that story? I followed that guy out the door.
And you had a
He
conversation
called me a
with him.
bastard. Yeah, we're doing this whole thing. He's obviously visibly pissed. He calls me a bastard, leaves. Okay, and I'm supposed to walk everybody to the door, right? So I love when customers are mad and I get to walk them to the door because it's the best walk.
Oh
you know?
yeah, you get.
Well,
it,
he
you
beats
get
me because he's so fast, right? Or he calls me a bastard as he's leaving the store. Other than that, he was just kind of pissed, right? So he calls it as like the door's closing, and I said, "What was that?" And I take my iPad my iPad that's supposed to be on you at all times, throw it in the middle of the store. Nobody else is in the store, so I just throw it in the middle of the ground. Or I didn't throw it, I tossed it,
Yeah, I get
because
what you're
it's like I know Cody's
Yeah,
watching,
I get
me,
what
or
you're
whoever's
saying.
watching me, right? And so and I followed him out there. I just said, "What was that?" And they just kept walking. He didn't even turn around. I was ready to go. I was heated that day for probably some other reason.
Customers can do that to you, but craziest thing in the last week and a half. Well, I watched a video of some women fight over toilet paper, so that was pretty cool.
Was it an old woman and a middle-aged woman?
It was an old and 2 middle-aged. It was
Those
a mom
three.
of a middle-aged person and a middle-aged person. They were fighting over toilet paper. One lady had a cart full of TP. The other lady just wanted one. And they both had their hand on it. And, of
Yeah.
course, she wasn't going to let her have the last one. And so then the best part was the manager called the cops and didn't let any of them have the toilet paper. So that was
That's
pretty cool,
awesome.
which I love.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I love that.
I saw a video of this dad who's like, fed up with everybody that's buying too much toilet paper. He like did the math on exactly like if somebody used 20 squares per shit. He was like mad at this certain person who he saw had so many rolls, right? So he does the math and he's like, okay, so if this is a lockdown for 4 weeks, then collectively for a 5-person family, everybody in that family would have to take 180 shits in these 4 weeks or something like that. And he was just obviously pissed because somebody took way too much toilet paper. But it's funny. Why is toilet paper the thing also, by the way?
I
Coronavirus's
gonna
number
ask you
one
that.
symptom is not shitting your brains out to the point where you need so much toilet paper.
No. Let's say it is. Let's
Well,
say
okay,
Corona's thing
sure,
is shit your brains out.
Sure.
I'm going to be honest with you.
I'm showering
And
this shit.
I was going to say, this may sound terrible.
'Cause
There are so many things I'm more worried about than that. I can still poop if I don't have TP.
Correct.
There's a lot of things that can be done.
It's not like
It may
in
not
order
be
to
fun.
shit. It's not like in order to shit, there has to be a roll on the thing. Otherwise, you go constipated.
Correct.
And everyone's worried about that.
Correct. There are things that may not sound fun, and you may not want to do them.
Right.
That you could easily do. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there are ways to take out of it. You
Yes.
can you can create your own bidet. Would be
Oh,
the same.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
there are things. The fact that TP is people's number one need makes me question so much about people. Like, the people in those videos, I just want to look at them and say, like, what? Like, why is that your number one need? Like, wiping your ass? That's so much more important than
Right. Also,
Food?
call me crazy. I know in some areas this is probably a real thing, and bottled water would be something that you would want, but like in
like
our
tap
area, at
water?
least, we're just drinking the tap. Like, is there something I don't know about? That there's coronavirus in tap water too?
No. So it's really funny is there are tap water drinkers and people who think tap water is like
Correct.
the devil.
Correct.
And it's really funny.
And now depending on the area, that could matter. But I was in
could
an area where
matter in
dude,
ways.
drinking tap was like the best
Hold
water.
on, it can matter in ways.
Yeah,
it
in
can
different
matter that
ways.
you don't drink it where you were from, but it doesn't mean it makes the tap water here
Correct.
bad. You know what I'm saying?
And there
Like,
could be a couple different reasons why you wouldn't want to drink tap. One, it could be for actual health reasons if you're in a country or slash an area of a
Correct.
country that doesn't have access necessarily to the most clean water.
or you have sulfur.
Correct. Or the other thing would be an area, oftentimes big cities, where tap water has a lot of additives to combat the not good quality water. So there ends up being like a chlorine or other things of water.
Yeah, chlorine or
And
sulfur
that
or
does
whatever.
actually taste bad. Like, I would not drink a cup of tap water because it's like, I don't want that.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
But like I live in Eugene, Springfield, Oregon, where
Correct.
if I need be, I'll put my mouth up against the faucet
Oh.
and like just I don't care.
Correct.
And the fact that people are like that worried about bottled water, mind blows me.
Yeah. So that one didn't really.
I mean, let's be real. The
That makes
number one need you have is food. Like that's
Correct.
what it is. It's food. It's not tap water.
Correct.
And I get like now I'm to the point where it's like if we do get quarantined, it's like maybe I should have been one of those crazy shoppers who bought some
Right.
food.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like, why are these people so crazy about this?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the other thing too. I think we've gained a little bit of insight, obviously, the past past day or two, with just how certain areas are going about things. And even if there was a massive lockdown where everyone is, kind of like locked to their own
Supermarkets are
home.
still available.
Yeah, supermarkets are still available. So it's like, the whole people buying out canned food aisles and stuff like that. It's like, maybe I understand where your head was at, but it's like we're learning right now that it's like, oh, that doesn't matter. We're still gonna have access to fresh food. We're chilling. That's all still being prepared. So but yeah, dude, people are crazy. It's so crazy how snowball effect takes place.
Oh, and people are followers. I just want to say thank you to everyone who stuck around and listened to us ramble on about absolute nonsense this episode. And just want to say stick around to hear Jordan tell you where you can find our newest episodes.
Yeah, so if you go to Instagram, it's the CJ2K Show. If you go to Twitter, it's also the CJ2K Show. It's going to be a good spot to follow. You get to see little snippets of us.
Great title.
Yeah, it is a great time.
Great handles.
Yeah, it's
Really,
easy
really
to
good
find.
matches.
Easy to find.